Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. Don't know what's going to come out, but it is general or collective, so just take what works for you and leave the rest. If it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. And I did a quick meditation, and the underlying energy from the tarot came up as justice. Justice has been coming up a lot in the readings lately, and so it might be on a lot of your minds here. The justice card is talking about justice happening from the spiritual and it coming down to the physical. That's that veil behind her is representing how thin that veil is between the two realms. And she's got her sword up in her right hand, ready to go. Her right foot is forward. In body language, that's saying she's ready to move forward and take action. And if basically, the sword of justice is a double-edged sword. So if you're on the right side of justice, you're going, that's spiritual and physical. It's going to be a blessing for you. And if you're on the other side, well, you've been caught. And so you're going to have to deal with the consequences. This also sometimes talks about karmic justice as well. And, a lot of people feel that karma is punishment, but it's actually just cause and effect for your actions and sometimes your inactions. The other card coming up is otherworldly desires, which is a karmic space. And, in karma, we could have direct karma from what we, from our own actions or inactions and how it affects other people, causing them suffering and struggle and sometimes demise. And it could also be indirect, and that might be something left over from our ancestors, that may be something they could not clean up before they crossed the veil. And it sometimes can even be our descendants, other people we associate with, like our friends, extended family, business, relationships, all of that type of thing. And then we have the karmic spaces. And that's like, we're humans, so we're going to make mistakes for sure, especially if we're trying to better ourselves. Along the way, we're going to have some error. And this is the worldly and otherworldly desires. And basically, this is a karmic space that people can fall into, where they focus too much on, the physical matter in world and, gaining, wealth and fame and a lot of physical matter, houses, cars, etc. And then on the other side, where people are overly spiritual and they renounce all of that and they don't enjoy any of the benefits of living on planet Earth. So there's a happy medium in between. This is about giving yourself total permission for your authentic desires, because life is anticlimactic when you don't. All right, and so this is my oracle, Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And then we have this is talking about someone wanting to expand their horizons, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. And this is the element of fire. The wands are made of wood, and the wood represents fuel for the fire. So it's talking about taking passionate action, and it also represents like the deep roots of our ancestors and our descendants. So it can be talking about, that this energy here of ancestral karma coming that needs to be cleared. But this person is standing on the precipice of change and looking out into the distance. Now, the water is golden from the sun, and there's ships sailing by. And he's thinking about, maybe I should hop on one of them babies and go on an adventure. And that doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. Now, we have this card here talking about heartbreak. So sometimes this card can represent someone walking away from being in a couple and becoming single, or vice versa. It could be someone who was single and now their heart is healed and they're coming into some sort of a partnership with someone. Now, if this isn't about romantic love, it can be about taking passionate action in a business. And maybe sometimes that could be like you already have a business and you're planning on taking action overseas, like going global, or maybe your business went viral, and because we have a passion for new discovery here. So there's some sort of energy of wanting to expand, and this is talking about a gift from the divine and the universe collaborating to give you the energy basically to do so, a passion for new discovery and wanting to explore something, and being in that real energy of expansion. And maybe this has been after you have been recovering from something that was heartbreaking. This card, I mean, when you look at it, you can see, okay, there's something really sad that happened. But when you look at it again, you notice that the heart is actually quite big compared to the swords that are in it. Swords in tarot represent the element of of air, and they represent thoughts. And so your mental intelligence and your discipline of your mind. And clearly we can see we have, something has happened. Sometimes this can talk about harsh words being spoken, or it can talk about gossip and slander, and someone who has their heart in their throat. They're afraid to speak their truth. And in matters of romantic love, this sometimes can represent a third-party energy that got in between a couple. So basically, this card is saying there definitely needs some healing of the heart to happen. But in context, like the swords are small compared to the heart when you look at it again. So it is something you can recover from. And I feel like maybe that's what this is saying, is that you have new passion after having some sort of heartache. And perhaps you're no longer in a couple and you're out there single, looking for new energy, new people. If this isn't representing romantic love, it definitely could be like something to do with business, or starting a project, or maybe actually relocating somewhere, deciding, maybe I'll go move in another country, that type of energy. And then we have the Strength card. This is after doing a lot of inner work, after healing for yourself. That's what this card represents. It's talking about having the strength and the integrity and the courage to really take a really good hard look at yourself. This young woman is reaching into this adult male lion's mouth, and that would be really dangerous to do. But he is being very submissive. And the red lion in tarot represents your fear. And so she is determined to face all her inner fears and dig deep within herself so that she can reach her infinite potential. So the infinity symbol represents 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. So that's where she wants to be. I feel like this is saying looking for a new adventure. And after having some hardship, definitely here. So this is talking about, a change coming over someone in many ways. The Pentacle energy is talking about health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. Now, a big part of that is money, of course. But you could have all the money in the world and still not live the lifestyle you want to be living. If you don't have your health and you don't have love in your life, it can feel pretty boring. And so this is saying that this person is looking at the 6 pentacles here, and he has earned 1 pentacle from investing 6 pentacles of energy into someone, something, whatever this is, and is wondering, was it worth it? Should I continue with it? Am I going to, do I even want to bother? It's like disappointed in the results. And this is someone who's used to being successful. So he's also confused. Like, why isn't it working? Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't get it. It was going well, and then all of a sudden it fell off. Or sometimes this card could be representing having like the opposite spectrum, where you've put just a little bit of effort into something and managed to really accumulate this, but you're confused because it doesn't thrill you like it used to. Like in the old days, you might have been like, yes, I put 1 pentacle of energy in and I have 6 pentacles out of it. But whatever this success is not thrilling you anymore, and you're confused as to why that is. Generally, that would be like when you've reached kind of a pinnacle of maybe there's not that much left to learn from what you were doing, and you're kind of bored with it. And maybe that's where you want to go on a new adventure, start a new business, move across the world, whatever, go on a holiday, sometimes relocate totally, whatever that is. It's kind of saying, yeah, like what used to satisfy me in life no longer does, and I don't know why. And then we have this feeling left out in the cold, feeling like after this energy here. So definitely the loss here, this is talking about a loss of lifestyle and a loss of feeling like you're part of the fabric of society, basically. That's the energy I'm picking up here. And you may have felt this way when you were younger as well, when you were in your family. And that's maybe why you need to do some inner healing here. This is talking about feeling like you've been left out in the cold and feeling isolated and separate from the world, basically. We have someone who's on crutches here, and he's wearing a bell around his neck. And this is talking about when in the old days, they didn't have apps to ostracize people from society if they thought they might be carrying a plague. They would force them to wear this big bell on their neck, and then people would hear them coming into town. And that would be like, oh, they could get out of this person's way, which of course made it impossible for them to earn a living or be able to enjoy society in any way. And then also someone barefoot in the snow here with them is just, there's only 5 pentacles here. There's 10 in the tarot, so this is like not enough to sustain a household and be, between 2 people and be happy. They are walking by a church here though, and so maybe this is talking about going in the church and maybe meditating, praying, connecting with the Most High to figure out, okay, I'm confused. I don't know what I'm going to do here. The snow represents snowflakes. They're very beautiful at first, and you're all excited about the project, but then the snow keeps coming and coming, and then you're like, oh, I have to shovel it. And the next, it can, after a long winter, you can be in this energy where you're just tired of something. And I feel like that's how you feel, like you've been in a long winter. But there is this energy that I can feel coming in. I mean, this is about being ecstatic about life and happy about life again. So, the Page of Wands is like the exuberance that you have when you're starting out on something new. If you think of someone under the age of 21, a young masculine energy that's ready to get out in the world, and the pyramids here represent having that energy to go out and explore the wonders of the world. And he's dressed to the nines, and he's got a feather in his cap because he has landed this job with the king and queen and delivering messages within the court. That's generally what the pages would do. This can represent an energy of information coming in from back before you were 21. It could be from like in elementary school, high school, when you were just starting college, university, maybe, apprenticing for someone in the workforce. And it can also represent people you knew back then at that time. And that, maybe they come back in your life. Maybe you haven't seen them for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. The pages would work really young, around 7 to 14. And when they were 21, they would end up sometimes being put up for knighthood, knighted. And if they could afford their own horse. The pages are talking about information, communication coming in. And, in the old days, this would always be a male, but recognize that in tarot, the characters are not gender specific. So this could be a female in her masculine energy as well. And it's not even talking necessarily the age of the person so much as that feeling, of starting out on something new. And I feel like, this is this giving yourself permission to go after your authentic desires. The Page of Wands, one thing to know about the information coming in from the Page of Wands is that, it can be a little overly enthusiastic sometimes. You need to check your facts with the information he comes in with. As you can see, he's very focused on his wand, on passion in life, and he quite often is thinking with his little head and doesn't really have total focus on what he's supposed to be doing. So just be aware of that sometimes this can be overly enthusiastic and maybe not all the facts have been checked. So just double and triple check the information. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is basically talking about planting seeds, and then they become your harvest. And this would be talking like upper middle class energy here, and saying that, he has enough left over to give to charity, so he's giving to this person. But over here, he has the scales of justice here, and he's not giving to this person. Now, this person has something in his pocket already. So it's talking about someone who wants to use your money instead of their own, like risk your money instead of theirs. And he's like, you're not getting anything from me. I'll give to this person because they actually need it. And his discernment is saying that they will use it wisely. So this is talking about in life, we have to learn sometimes the hard way, with this energy here. Like this part of the reading here is talking about sometimes we have to learn the hard way how much time, money, energy to invest in someone or something, and what is the anticipated return, and at what point do we say, okay, I'm done with this and ready to move on to something new. And then we have the Knight of Swords coming in. So the Knight of Swords is, information coming in as well. Now, this is a knight but the energy is very different from this energy here, as you can see. He's in a real hurry here, and he's running from something or to something. So he might be running from justice and moving towards wanting, to bring some information to someone regarding, I feel, because this is the sword energy, regarding this energy here. So this sometimes represents gossip and slander. So it could be talking about a lot of gossip and slander about some situation here that went on. But in any case, this is talking about, again, the sword energy. You notice we can only see half his sword. So he might only have half the information, and we can't see the point. So we have, maybe he can't either. He has this big red flag on the back of his helmet. And even the clouds look like someone just cut through them, The horse looks totally stressed out. And this energy of the horse in tarot represents heartfelt energy and your passion. They're running through barren land against the wind. And so this could be talking about almost like pressing the panic button, that type of energy. Something has him really worked up. Sometimes this energy can talk about investigations. They can be legal or illegal investigations, and quite often using technology. So it can be talking about hidden cameras and hot mics and, that type of energy to investigate. Sometimes it can represent maybe a private detective has been hired or something like that. And then we have victory at the top. So the victory is from deciding to move forward with passion towards something else. And actually becoming to come from this energy to be in this energy is a great place to be. And you notice there's 6 pentacles here. And then there's these 6 pentacles here with this one. So this could be talking about in the past, you gave away too much of yourself, your time, money, energy. And now that you've learned, not to give so much of yourself away, that you're victorious. This is a card of victory, and it's at the top of the pyramid. So it's saying that you overcome this hardship And it's because you go after your authentic desires instead of doing what you think you should do, that type of energy. And it's also saying this is victory because she's victorious because she has learned to rein her emotions in and to discipline her mind so that she's not like reacting to what's going on around her. Instead of reacting to it, she's responding. And you can see how proud she is. Now, sometimes this can represent an energy of people in the background being a little bit disgruntled. Maybe they wanted to win the prize rather than her. But they are, you can see some of them are like looking like they're kind of happy and some are looking disgruntled. This could be like a promotion at work or something where you land the promotion and other people are disappointed they didn't get it. But everybody kind of has to agree that, you are the leader here and that you deserve to win. And so from the bottom to the top and back down again, it's talking about having new passion to move forward, like feeling really, this passion for new discovery, feeling like, oh, okay, life is good, getting up in the morning and like, woohoo, I wonder what's going to happen today. And this is talking about really different from the energy you've been to. But it's saying that you did a lot of healing to get out of this energy. You took a good look at, okay, what am I going to do differently? And that's in big part why you get the justice from the situation. You come out victorious on top. Someone's not that thrilled about it, though. They're in a panic that you are on top. Maybe because they're like, now who's going to be giving me the money to risk that, so that I can get ahead in life. Now what am I going to do? And this is about, life improves when you have the courage to heal your heart and then say, you know what, I deserve to have passion in my life. I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to step into my authentic desires. That would be justice just in itself there, like getting to that point where you heal from something. I'm going to clarify with my oracle for those of you who want further clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thanks for your time and energy. And your likes, comments, subscribes, I really, really appreciate them. It helps me to build my channel. All right, I'm going to clarify here. So the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in my oracle on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And this is how they're listed in the gallery. So I will put them in the description box below in the order they showed up here. And you can take a look if you want to see what they're about. The need to be right. So sometimes we need to be right, and sometimes we just get in the habit of, okay, I'm right and you're wrong. And that doesn't make it that much fun for other people. So this is talking about knowing when you need to be right and knowing when to let things go. And it's like, are you going to make a mountain out of a molehill? But you don't also at the same time want to make a molehill out of a mountain. Like if someone is putting you in this energy, you don't want to stay in it, right? The world is like, once you figure this out, I feel that in this situation, it looks like you were overgiving in some situations and then it not working out for you. And so the world card is talking about that coming to an end. You've learned this lesson really well and you're ready to move forward. The world card is saying that you've had success, which is at the top here. And you've learned everything you can from this cycle, and now it's time to step into this victorious energy where you're going after your authentic desires. This is justice definitely coming in. We have justice here twice. And so energy is talking about, you might be clearing energy from something that happened down your bloodline, because we have two justice cards from both and there's not that many cards out here. So definitely it's talking about you maybe clearing the air for your ancestors as well. So something may, whatever you did has healed not just yourself, but the family bloodline. That's what this energy here is talking about. So the High Priestess is joyful because she's very intuitive. She uses her intuition to be able to get what she wants. Like she is able to use both her intuition and her logic to come to creative solutions. And then we have the Earth Star energy. So this is about you being a powerful manifester. We manifest from the sacral chakra. And this is saying, and it's sitting right on here, this energy here, that look how capable you are. You are capable. But I feel like for this reading, it's talking about some people that, like, that you can do it, but maybe you went into a slump after going through some hardship here. But now that you've done the healing again, maybe you want to do something different from how you used to do it, or totally do something totally new, like be in a totally new energy and manifest in that way. And that's more exciting for you because we have this whole new world card on this passion for discovery. And then falling and failing in love is a matter of definitely saying you need to look after yourself. You have to love yourself enough to heal from, the heartache, heartbreak. And also, if there's some, because this quite often can represent some romantic love coming in. But it's talking about, first and foremost, you have to love yourself enough to heal so you don't repeat the same old cycle. Bottom line, I feel like that's what this is saying. It's time for new energy. That's been coming out a lot in the readings. And at the top, we have the guiding star. So this is about, there's a lot of energy here talking about the chakra energy. And so the guiding star, that's your crown chakra, and it's about using your intuition like the high priestess, not necessarily doing what you think other people think you should do or what society expects you to do, but maybe being successful at doing something you just really love to do, that you've always wanted to do, and you haven't done that because you've been so responsible, and so now it's time for you to maybe play a little bit more and go after your authentic desires. Otherwise, it can fall really flat. So I do hope this has benefited you. Thank you for your time and energy, your likes, comments, subscribes, and I will be back with another random shift reading soon. Bye for now.